FYI. Good morning, wherever you guys are joining us from. It's Friday, it's Thursday, the 14th day of September. It's payday yet, folks? Is it? It is yet. Good to have each and every one of you on the live this morning, wherever you're coming in to us from. We are happy. We are nothing short of privileged that you folks are here with us this morning. Share the live, folks. Smash that emoji button for us. We got to put our mic on to make sure we're getting a good sound. Wherever you're joining us from this morning, share that live for us. Smash that emoji button as well. And guys, very, very important part of our program. Partner with us too. Partner with us too. Good folks, wherever you're coming in live from this morning, we see so many of you already making your comments. Donnet Harding, George is here, and June Griffith, German Griffith. Like, it's all the Griffiths out this morning. It's the whole family, it's the whole clan. June Griffith, German Griffith. We can see Andrew Griffith just now. Beatrice Selby is here. I see Deborah Leach is here as well. I got a big cup of strong black coffee here because that's just the kind of morning that I'm having around these parts. What kind of morning have you guys woken up to? Hope you guys have hit the ground running from the many places you're joining us from. More than 100 of you have already joined our live broadcast. Good to see you folks. Again, those of you coming in from work, you're coming down the road, you're driving, coming through. Some of you might be in an Uber, some of you might be on the train, on a bus, coming home in a taxi perhaps. Good to have all of you folks joining us from the various places. We are going to make sure that we are on all the right pages because we don't want anybody fretting with us. They're not seeing us, they're not hearing us. So let us know, all the technicians on duty, if you're hearing us clearly out there, folks, because that's how we want to be heard. We want to be heard crystal clear. So please let us know right off the bat if you wonderful folks are hearing us clearly. Shelly Granham is here. Shelly, how you doing, the man? Shelly. Good to have you here. And Charles Nelson is here as well. Want to say a special good morning to Margaret Nelson. Rio. A very good morning to Rio as well. Laverne Wade is on the live this morning. Good to see you, Laverne. Say hello to Angel and all the kids. And Sinzain, how is he doing? Yeah. Good to see. We have again Laverne Wade on the live this morning. Vanessa Wardine is here too. Gil Ali Cock is on the live this morning. Guys, we're so happy to have so many of you join us. Take the opportunity as we begin our morning broadcast to share that like, smash that emoji button, and let us know what's in your cup this morning. Is this some rosemary, some sweet sage? What's in your cup? You can get sweet sage in your cup. Who knows? Who knows, folks? Deborah Leach and all the other folks we have joining us this morning. It's a privilege. We're holding for some of you. Deborah's here. Isabella Butters is here as well. Good morning, Isabella. Forbes Medjuse is here too. Good to see you, Forbes and Orvin Dunn. Good to have you, Dan Fordyce. Gavin Liverpool is here as well. Technician Gavin Liverpool is on the job this morning. He says he's hearing us loud and clear. We're happy for that. Loud and clear, he says he's hearing us. Andrew Griffith is here. You see, we said Andrew will come by. There's Andrew on cue. Thanks for joining us, Andrew, and Fidel Albert, and all the other folks. Fidel says she's having some lemon water. Fidel is having some lemon water there. Yeah, I see Sheila Boyd-Child says lemongrass tea. Like lemon raining this morning. Lemon water, lemongrass tea. Yeah, aka bush tea. Same thing. Edward Booms is here with us. Dolly Anderson is here with us too. Siobhan McDonald is here too. Good to have you, Siobhan. I see Vashti Pollard is here. Vashti, how you doing? Gilali Cock. Andre Saul. Good to have Andre Saul with us. Beryl Crawford, not being left out there. Good to have you, Beryl. And again, Gilali Cock, Isabella, and Diane Abrams is here too. Folks, we're happy that you guys are here. We apologize for last night. Sometimes you left to go around the corner, and around the corner is 200 miles away, and you don't make it back in time. So our apologies there for last night, folks. Shoreen Hohenkirk, good to have you there. Antonio Narayan heading off to work this morning. We see you. Elizabeth Narayan, Raymond Narayan, heading home, I think. Is that what we see there? Luan Hall. Good to see you folks as well. Gloria Felix, all the folks in South Carolina, respect and manners, especially those who are in Sparkle City, South Carolina, North Carolina, folks as well. Good to see you on the live this morning too. Those of you North Carolina, happy to have you guys here. The folks who are in Georgia. Good to have you. We coming to Georgia, folks. Coming to Georgia. Georgia on my mind. Coming on Saturday. Yep. Alexis Williams is here too. And Abby D'Souza. And I see Ronald Passat. Ronald Passat, good to see you. Ronald says good morning from Northeast. Yeah. Good morning from Northeast. Good morning to you too, Ronald Passat. Clay Crawford is here. Clay, very good morning to you. I hope you had a fantastic day. Oh, somebody's having turmeric. Hold on. Abby D'Souza. So she's having some hot water with lemon, cinnamon, and turmeric. All the things a growing girl needs. All the things a growing girl needs. Hot water, lemon, cinnamon, and turmeric. That's what Abby says. Be happy for you, Abby. We are happy and delighted. Hope that does some good for your body. Yep, Abby having this very eclectic hot beverage this morning. Hot water with lemon, cinnamon, and turmeric. Yep. Very exotic. Very exotic. Yeah. Debbie Collins, good to see you there. And Beatrice Selby. Iseen Koja is here as well. Where's this fancy name from? Iseen said she's having some ginger tea. Aren't you lucky? Iseen, aren't you lucky? Should we all be so lucky? Yep. Ginger tea. I have a little coffee here. Black coffee. See the cup size? It's that kind of morning. It feels like Friday. Yep, it feels like Friday. Good to see you, Beatrice Selby. And Word Brooms is on the live, and we got So True Hector. It's so true, Hector. So true. Edward Brooms is here too, and Karen Gittins. All the other folks coming in from the cold, coming in from a night shift, coming in from Mary Black, and all the other places around the country. Good morning to you folks. A very good morning. Yeah, it's good to be with you guys. It's good to be with you. I see Fidel here. Fidel says, I love your cup, Sherrod. Compliments the folks here in South Carolina, Sparkle City, Spartanburg. Compliments. Yeah. Lovely cup. I like it too. Hey, saying I go back twice. It's one walk. Edward Brooms, we see you. Mayburn King and all the other folks who are joining us this morning. Good to have you guys on the live. You all know how we say it. Let's get into some of that stuff we're covering this morning, folks. Yep, FYI for your information, for those of you who are on with us, welcome to our broadcast. Those of you who are going to come back to watch us, we didn't forget you guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, based on when you're coming back to watch us. And we welcome you guys as well, because we know lots of our audience come back and watch us, you know. Some people take the first 50 minutes as they run their morning break and so on, and then they come back later on and watch us. So whenever you're coming back, whenever you joined us, good morning, good night, good midday, wherever you come back and you join us from, we are so happy. Dolly and Dennis and Edward, Erwin and Sheila Boy Child. Good to have all of you folks on the live with us this morning, folks. Good to have you on the live. Georgia, we coming on Saturday. I want to see you folks. It's one afternoon only. 4 to 8 in Georgia on Saturday. We're in Conyers, folks. We're in Conyers, Georgia. I haven't spent much time in Georgia, folks. I have not spent much time in Georgia. See my hand stretch out, begging for things. Haven't spent much time in Georgia, but really looking forward to it. Good. Really looking forward to being in Georgia on Saturday. I was in Georgia by what's the big park area there? The Centennial Park. Centennial Park. I took a walk around Centennial Park. Last time I was here, checked in with the CNN tower there in Georgia as well. Had a fantastic time there. In Atlanta, rather. The CNN building tower headquarters there in Atlanta. Spent some time there. Looking forward for some more time in Georgia this trip, and definitely seeing some of you. So those of you who said you didn't see me the last time, well, I'm spending more time now. 4 to 8 on Saturday in Georgia, Conyers, Georgia. The address is there, the time, the date, the everything is right there. And then, folks, we're going to be bringing you all the updates out of that conference coming up, folks, coming up on the 27th and the 28th, month 10, 27th and 28th. We're going to bring you guys all of the latest from that conference. As you know, Hakeem Jeffries, the Senate, the House Minority Leader, is going to be speaking at that conference too. Hakeem Jeffries, the famous Hakeem Jeffries, is going to be speaking there, among lots of other folks. And we're going to be bringing you things live updates from that conference, the 27th and the 28th in Washington, D.C. Looking forward to being there as well. So if I don't catch y'all in Georgia, we're going to catch y'all in Washington. Okay? We're going to catch y'all out there in Washington on the 27th and the 28th. Folks, if you can be there, partner with us and help us to go, help us to get there. Folks, help us to pay our bills at this end. You know, it's coming on to Montana. It's only 16th. Remember to partner with us as well, folks. All of our usual platforms are available: Cash App and Zelle and PayPal, MMG, MoneyGram, Western Union, and folks, we even have capacity now to accept credit cards and debit cards. Hit us up on our WhatsApp, 627-6963. One number we got. One number only. 627-6963. That's the only number we work with. 627-6963. 627-6963. Get us up there. We send you a link, folks. It is absolutely secure. Absolutely secure. We playing absolutely secure, and you can contribute using your debit and credit card as well. I see Tulsi Narayan is here with us, folks. We're about to shift gears a little bit, so I'm going to be in Tanya's, Georgia on the 16th. Saturday coming. Looking forward to that. 6 to 8. The address is there. It's posted on our page as well. It's just listed. Cheryl Welch, we see you. Anthony Jarvis, we see you as well. And I see Tessa Isaacs. Greg Zambi is here with us as well. Charles Humphrey, we're coming around to that. That $50 million, we're coming around to that. Charles, we're coming around to that. So stay with us on that front. Folks, some of the stuff we are covering in the morning papers. Some of the things we are covering in the morning papers, good folks. This COI, they said, is meeting tomorrow to begin speaking with some witnesses. I think they say they have about 5 witnesses lined up for the COI into the MAHDIA Secondary School dormitory fire. The hearings commence tomorrow, Friday, so we are looking forward to that. You know, a couple of weeks ago, Paul Slow had a very interesting point of view, interesting opinion on how this whole thing was set up, who is involved, who said the trauma reference, and all of that. Former senior superintendent of police, or senior superintendent of police retired, Paul Slow, not senior superintendent, senior assistant commissioner of police, Paul Slow has an interesting point of view. You know, having dealt with COIs in the past himself and inquiries and so forth, a senior policeman, retired, has a very, very insightful perspective on this whole MAHDIA COI, as he put it forward, I think a week or two ago, and we still think it's so fresh, it's so potent. We wanted to share it with you as we're looking at this MAHDIA COI that is going to sit tomorrow. I think it's the first sitting. They said they're going to call about 5 or so persons. I wanted you to reflect. I wanted to reflect on what the senior policeman Paul Slow said, former. Lynn Fernandez, we see you there. Sylvia Allen, we see you there as well. Roxy McKinnon and Terrence Beaton, Petal Thorne, we see you as well. We want to get to what the former Assistant Commissioner of Police, Paul Slow, said on this very, very issue, folks. Take a look and take a listen. Welcome to all of you who are now joining us. And folks, take a look and take a listen. What he said.
Dear Commission of Inquiry, I don't think I need to repeat what happened at MAHDIA. Suffice to say that 20 children lost their lives. And after a long delay and a lot of salawala, as we in the country would say, the Commission of Inquiry was sworn in sometime last week. And if you recall, I made the observation that, where is it? Hold on, even return. I made the observation that the minister, look, you remember this here? I asked the question. This was a commission of inquiry and sworn in by the acting chief magistrate, and of course the president used the opportunity to get a photo up. He had nothing to do with swearing in. The man to the extreme left, I understand now, is the secretary. Then you have Major General retired Joe Singh. You have the acting chief magistrate who did the swearing in. The president in the middle. To the president left is Attorney Kim Kite Thomas, and then the other man is from the American People's Association as a member of the Commission of Inquiry. And then you have the Minister of Education. And I asked the question then, what was the Minister of Education doing at the swearing in of the MAHDIA Commission of Inquiry when she is likely to be a prime witness in this thing. That is what goes on. And then what happened? We were talking about the terms of reference, right? And it was published eventually. I'll show you the terms of reference. I checked it out yesterday on the official gazette. Let me bring it, Conway. The terms of reference. And let me go through it with you so you can see. To inquire into and report on the events and circumstances leading up to and causes of the MAHDIA dormitory fire on the night of the 20th of May, 2023. That's the first terms. Then the second one says, inquire into and report upon the actions taken to provide swift care, medical attention, and other forms of support and assistance to the injured and their families, and to the families and relatives of the deceased. I find this one very strange. This is the one where they're going to get a little, they're looking for buttering up. Oh, we give them this and we give them that. This is a buttering up one. That's nothing really to do with the actual cause of the fire and the response to the fire itself. So this is a buttering up clause. And then the third clause, the third term, makes such recommendations and observations as the Commission may deem fit, including such measures and actions that the Commission may consider necessary and appropriate to prevent the recurrence of such tragedy. So those are the three terms. They have 2 months to, and you still get classes, say 2 months or such other time, the usual thing that the president will decide. So basically what they're saying, they get 2 months, but they can have extension in this thing. And yesterday, there was a press conference hosted by the secretary to the COI. And he made some, to me, what is to me, some startling revelation. One of the things the secretary said is that the terms of reference were created by the Attorney General and the President. That is what he said. I couldn't believe, he said the President and the Attorney General put together the terms of reference. And then perhaps the worst part for me, let me look for it and find it. The worst part for me is that it was revealed that Attorney Keoma Griffith is the counsel. In other words, he's a lawyer to this commission of inquiry. I have to back the note because I remember when the compensation, or what they call the financial assistance, was paid to the relatives of those who died. Remember, they get $5 million Ghana, and the ones who were injured get $3 million. The report said, and this was something that was done secretly until Stabrook News revealed. The report said that the agreement was witnessed by Shoshona Lal of the Attorney General's chambers and Keoma Griffith, who comes from a South Road law office. That's what the report said. A Keoma Griffith that comes from a South Road law office. Now, with the same Keoma Griffith now is a counsel to the Commission of Inquiry. And I have to ask, isn't that a conflict of interest? He witnessed on behalf of the relatives and of the people who died and those who were injured. And the same person now is the counsel to the commission. That is not a real place. Isn't that a clear conflict of interest? You represented the people them now, and you get a commission to inquire into what happened and all of that. And he is there as a counsel to this commission. And let me say this. I said, I made a note that the members of the commission, Major General retired Joe Singh, Attorney Kim Kite Thomas, and this next guy, I don't really know his name, they would have had nothing to do with the identity, I think so, or with the selection of the counsel to the commission. In other words, they would have learned that apparently yesterday, when the thing was raised, even the secretary seemed to be surprised. But I am saying that if they want to maintain their credibility and the credibility of the Commission of Inquiry, they should immediately demand that this Keoma Griffith be removed and have nothing to do with the Commission of Inquiry. Have nothing to do. Because again, I say, how can you? There's a clear conflict. He was there more representing. I understand he had a bigger role to play in that. Representing the persons who are injured and those who died. Representing those persons. Agreeing to this $5 million, whatever they want to call it, and the $3 million. And now this man is a counsel, and a counsel to the commission is a key person. He's a counsel to the commission. Mr. Derek John from the Tushau Council is the third member of the Commission of Inquiry. Guyana cannot be a real place. Guyana cannot be a real place.
So there is Mr. Paul Slow, former Assistant Commissioner of Police, Paul Slow, who, as I said, understands these issues, and that is why we are leaning on his guidance and his direction. The commission is sitting tomorrow to begin hearing testimony from its first, I think, 5 or so witnesses. But again, these shortcomings of the commission being pointed out, are they going to correct that? Same attorney used to negotiate the $5 million settlement, compensation, whatever it is, with the families. The same attorney now representing the commission. Why was Irfan there? Why is Priya there? We got to be so careful. We have to be so careful as to have the commission appear impartial. Impartial and not looking out for the interest of the government, but for the people of this country. Looking out for the people of this country. Yolanda Thomas, we see you there, and Persis on the live, and Margot George, Annette Cummins on the live as well. Suzanne. So those are just a couple of things that we are following this morning, folks, as we examine this commission of inquiry that has been set up, and that's going to begin its first a slew of hearings tomorrow. Some other things we're tracking this morning, folks, making the headlines this morning. Carnage on our roads and waterways. 2 are feared dead in a boat mishap in the Cuyuni-Mazuruni region. Yep, the Cuyuni-Mazuruni region. This is region 7. And they said 2 persons are missing and feared dead for the 4-year-old minor of Cameroon, Alvin Jordan, and for the 1-year-old father of 3 from Fellowship Denamstel on the West Coast, Alvin Jordan, 41 years old. So Kevin Musa and Alvin Jordan are the 2 persons who are feared dead. They were imbibing at a place in that region there called Kurutaku or Kurutaku. That's the area. They were having some fun, and then they hitched a ride to a boat somewhere along the route. They said the boat encountered some small rapids and struck a rock, causing the vessel to take on water. As a result, this report we got here says the occupants jumped out of the boat and swam to shore, leaving Musa and Jordan on a rock in the middle of the Cuyuni-Mazuruni River. In the middle of the Cuyuni-Mazuruni River. The report goes on to say Jordan and Musa were heard shouting for a few minutes. Before the shouting stopped, they are believed to have drowned. So they're looking for Kevin Musa and Alvin Jordan in that mishap there in the Cuyuni-Mazuruni region. They said they had just left the Kurutaku village and heading to their mining camp when this mishap occurred. Yep, that's just some of what we're following this morning on that side. And then we are learning that the government has approved not a pay increase, pay adjustments. They say for those teachers whose salaries fall below the requisite scale. I want to make sure I'm quoting it right. Right? It says here that in keeping with the promise to address anomalies in the teacher salary scale, to address anomalies in the teacher salary scale, government has given the green light for salary adjustments. It's not a pay increase for all teachers. It's a salary adjustment to benefit teachers earning below the minimum of their respective pay scale. We don't know how many teachers are going to be captured in this pay adjustment, whether it's 5, it's 10, or it's 2. We don't know the figures in that regard, but just that they have the okay, right? The Air Finale has given the okay for these pay adjustments to um, the minimum, uh, sorry, for those who fell below the minimum of their respective pay scale. Yep, that's one of the things we're following this morning too. And also, we want to let you guys know that the ministry has begun. This is the Ministry of Public Works. They have begun breaking down stalls along the Mandela Avenue. Yep, because that's what they do best. You know, take bread out of people's mouth at a time when cost of living is high. You know, so that's what's happening currently. We're picking this bit up out of Starbucks News, who is reporting this morning extensively on this, and we want to commend them for that. We're picking that bit up out of Starbucks News, folks. They have spoken with a number of vendors, again, who are expressing their dismay, that this is how the administration is going after looking at this particular issue, breaking down stalls. I know we got a lot of PvP supporters on the live this morning. I'm seeing some of the comments. Y'all got to address these issues. Y'all have to address these issues. We can't just brush past this. We've seen it consistently. And you know where these stalls are always broken down? You know where they're always broken down? Huh? Take a wild guess. It's never in areas, hardcore areas that support the PPP electorally. It's never in those areas. Along Mandela Avenue, that is their most recent area of target, according to Starbucks News. According to Starbucks News. Folks, we have to make a hard finish at the 9 o'clock hour this morning, so we're going to try to be some heroes. A hard finish for 9. A 90-year-old says that he was attacked viciously by his neighbor's pit bull, right? Or pit bulls, plural. Yep, pit bulls. He was viciously attacked. He's now nursing injuries to his face and feet after he was attacked by his neighbor's pit bulls on Tuesday. Y'all got to take better care of your animals, your pets, your dogs. Please and thank you. And we see this way too often. Walter Taylor, who lives on Princess Street, right, says he managed to fight off the dogs. And here's what Walter said. He said, I come down every morning to open the back house and let breeze pass through. And after I come down, 4 dogs attacked me. And I started to run, Taylor said. You know, Newsroom is reporting on this. Nobody rescued me, according to Taylor. I had to get up and try because the gate was locked and nobody couldn't come in. So his neighbor's 4 pit bulls got into his yard. He said, I usually have pepper spray, but I couldn't use it because I didn't walk with it this particular morning. See, he's in his own yard, going to another building in his yard. When he's attacked by the neighbor's 4 pit bulls, he said, nobody rescued me, I had to try for myself. Sometimes in life, that's it, you know. Right? John Jones, sometimes in life, Debbie Collins, we got to try for myself. Control your animals, though. Please. Please. You know, I don't want to use the word admire, but people who got these vicious dogs, I like dogs. I ain't got nothing against dogs. My wife, not so much. She don't like dogs. I like dogs. But if you want to care for dogs, right? You gotta get big expanse when you want to get dogs like pit bulls in particular. And we've seen this too often. These dogs just kind of trip, as we say, and then they attack. And you know, for Walter, this could have ended so differently. For Walter Taylor, this could have ended so differently. So folks, we beg of you, you know, control your pets. Keep them harnessed. Please. Muzzle even. Please. All right. I see Shirley Juice Tendry says the pit bulls need to be put down. That might be one thing, because once they start going after people like that, and you know what, Shirley, Yolanda says she don't like dogs. Right? It said that's a lawsuit in America. Walter Taylor says it's not the first time. Walter Taylor says it's not the first time that has happened. Gail, Denise, he said that's not the first time this has happened. Folks, let's touch on some other things we found this morning. And then we got to circle back to some other things we're tracking in the 592 as well. Internationally, we're not alone. In the universe, we are not alone. Folks, in Mexico, in their Congress, they had a hearing on UFOs quite recently. You're going to want to hear this. Right? It is alleged non-human alien corpse were on display for Mexican politicians, as I said, at the country's Congress. Two small alleged alien corpse, and this is being reported out of the Independent, this is a UK publication. Two small alien corpse alleged retrieved from a place called Cusco, Peru, were presented in windowed boxes in Mexico City on Wednesday, stirring excitement in the UFO conspiracy theorist community. That we're not alone. They said they found these alien specimens in Peru. And here it is, right? Here it is. They said that these one UFOologist UFOologist, or is it UFOologist? But it's UFO. These people who study UFOs, unidentified flying object, right? Jamie Musan, he testified under oath in the Mexican Congress. He testified under oath that the mummified specimen that you're seeing here are not part of our terrestrial evolution. Humankind, that is not a part of our terrestrial evolution. And get this, with almost a third of their DNA remaining unknown. That is what Jamie Musan told the Mexican Congress, that these specimens, these aliens, are not part of our terrestrial evolution. So, folks, the question has been answered now. We're not alone in the universe. We are not alone. You remember this slap by Will Smith? Delivered to Chris Rock. Well, recently, we saw Sean Penn weighing in on this slap. Sean Penn was weighing in on this slap. And it came up in an interview that Sean Penn was having. Sean Penn says, I don't know Will Smith. I met him once. He seemed a very nice guy when I met him. Sean Smith goes on to say, he was so F-bomb good in King Richard, the film. So why the F-bomb did you just spit on yourself and everybody else with this stupid F-bomb thing? Right? Sean Penn, apparently in the past, punched someone in the face, went to jail for it, apparently. And he's wondering why, are you guys standing there applauding the worst moment for Will Smith as a person? He said, I went to jail for this. Why are you standing there applauding Will Smith? He said, this is the worst moment for Will Smith as a person. The worst moment. Yeah. You think we can never forget about this? You think we can never forget about it? I still believe the whole thing was staged. Gaylord Evans, Andrew Griffith, Teresa Azor, Hazel. I still believe this whole thing here was staged. Ronald, Halley. Nobody can convince me otherwise. I believe that the whole thing was staged. The Grammys were making a comeback. Is it Grammys or was this the Oscar? Was making a comeback and little ratings and so on. The red table, you should be going down too. This is Taylor Swift's program. I believe this is Hollywood. You gotta think about what you see on stage and what you believe. It's Hollywood after all. Naomi, I believe the whole thing staged. Naomi says this is because people are very selective. That's why they kick up as, they didn't fuss with Will Smith boxing, slapping Chris Rock, but Sean Penn paid the price. Right? Yolanda Chalmers says Sean Penn needs to get real and shut up. That's the other side. Moving on, folks. Moving on. I gotta make a hard finish for 900 that. That's some issues to attend to on this side, folks. Somewhat we're following the 592. Let's jump there. Somewhat we're following the 592. More specifically, inside job. I saw one of you say this very early. This inside job. That's what some of you said. We need to start this topic yet. This brazen robbery. Yesterday morning, apparently, at the Regional Democratic Council head office there in Region 6, 50 million plus gone. And saw some of the headlines this morning saying that one of the suspects shot dead. Folks, now you can see police in action. Now you can see police in real action. 50 million stolen. Now you're going to see police getting to work. And of course, dead men tell no tales. Of course, dead men tell no tales. 50 million. Yeah. Out front parts. Calbino, Don Sullivan, Robin Wright, Donald Joseph. $50 million robbery. Somebody says an inside job. Waiting to get the rest of it. So one dead, shot by police, 2 in custody. And they said this money here was part of a payment for part-time workers in the region. How many people know that money was going to be there that particular time, that particular hour? How did they know that? I guess that's why some of you say, insert Mason, inside job. 50 plus. Yep. Of the people's money. See? Very interesting. They didn't say, police didn't say in the reports we've covered here whether any of those monies were recovered after that shootout with that suspect. And now that they have 2 other persons in custody, we have not heard if any of that money was recovered. Teresa Azor says, set up. That's how you got here now. You know the whole thing already. Set up. All right? Out front part says, why cash? I want to pause there. Out front parts. You got the wisdom for the morning. Because that has been our contention here. COVID-19, with all these cash grants, provided such an opportunity, opportunity for us to go cashless. The government has an opportunity to encourage people, open a bank account, get a card, and then you make these deposits. Why in this day and age we're looking around millions of dollars? Why? Why is that? It is high time we go cashless and we can encourage citizens. And we have a good opportunity when all these cash grants are sharing out to say to people, look, expires, encourage the banks to move in direction. Making the staff and facilities more readily available, open accounts for people. We're missing a moment, and we so accustomed to the paper cash. When we come out in places like here, we can't really function because people don't so readily accept cash. If you look down on you, as a matter of fact, after you wash your money, and I quickly tell you, you don't accept cash. You see? Oh, don't let me stay backward for too long. Open an account. Most of those banks now, the card got a Visa feature. I see Banks Bank, Citizens, it took a little while, but their cards now got a Visa feature. You see? So you can do business not only locally, you can do business internationally as well. I saw even GT&T. I don't like the GT&T have the monopoly, they're my phone company, but I don't like the GT&T have a monopoly alone on cash transfer. Like how you have your cash up with the MMG. We got to open that space too to others, right? But you got your MMG as well. You know, GTT ought to send us a check somebody, tax somebody from GTT for us. I'm certain most of you were introduced to the concept of MMG from our program. Come on, GTT, make it right. Make it right, GTNT. Oh, make it right. But the point is, it's high time. If we claim we're this big developing country and all of that, we still carrying around from bottom house to bottom house for cash grants. Millions of dollars. It's madness. But I want to lose where we are. Inside job. That's what folks are saying. Region 6 there. Inside job. Well, you know them police hard at work. Need I say more? John Sullivan, Precious Queen, Banjo King. Police hard at work this morning. Need I say more? Some of y'all like call people full mouth. It puts y'all in problems. Some of you like calling people full mouth. This one teenage, he's found out the hard way. Kenrick Ragnott of Hillfoot Shoes, like he said his uncle was imbibing with some friends at a bar in the area. He went, to pass on a message to his uncle, and he said a fellow who was drinking with the uncle upbraided him for not referring to his uncle as uncle, not referring to his elder as uncle. This is the man drinking with the uncle. Not the uncle, the man drinking with the uncle. Ragnott was relaying this to Action News, that he tried explaining to the man that he did say uncle, but by that time, the man became heated and began assaulting and insulting him. Right? Yeah. The altercation persisted, and the man had allegedly pulled a cutlass from his car while Ragnott picked up a bottle. All this because Ragnott called his elder uncle, The man pulled a cutlass from his car. You see that? Alcohol thing. After this confusion, Ragnott says he left. But he says the man and other individuals drove up to him as he was heading home and began to beat him. One of them lashed me with a baton and I collapsed. And then they all started to beat me. Yeah. All because this man says Ragnar didn't call his elder uncle, If this is not the wild, wild west, why some people just can't mind their own business? Could we start there? Why some people just can't mind their own business? And see when you put that alcohol, uncontrolled into the mix, problems. The man just want to carry a message to your uncle, he jump in, call your uncle. What story is this? What story is this? And it's just like that. Just like that 18-year-old Kenrick Ragnott of Hillfoot gonna get a beating. Just like that, folks. As easy as that, believe it or not. And while there was that beating at Hillfoot, was a Robb Street rumble. Saw two men and Robb Street just fighting each other. Fidel Albert, this is the wild, wild west. We don't have the backstory here. But we saw the video, maybe too much, so early in the morning. Two men just stomping all over each other on Robb Street. The Robb Street rumble, folks, do you understand? This is the kind of country we live in. You don't call your... The man uncle wasn't even bothered. But this fellow drinking with the uncle, pick up fire rage. Right? Some folks saw this photograph and said, this is what happens when we don't get chicken wings we don't get wings and so on by churches. By churches chicken. You would take the food serious. That's what they were suggesting. The fellas didn't get the wings Right? Churches, we're fighting for that, you know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But folks, we don't make light of these situations. This is how we process pain, how we process grief. And just fighting in the street. A fellow go to the shop, carry a message for your uncle because he didn't address the uncle as uncle. Then beat him up for that. Different folks, if anything, we different. You know, it's a long time Enrico will fight. It's a long time. I think Enrico, like we related, Enrico, when the Andrews, right? When the Fidel, you better respect your elders and refer to them appropriately. Uncle Enrico, Paul Prasad, Uncle Enrico, yeah, his family, Uncle Enrico. Folks, when you read the backstory, so Enrico Wilford saga with his former employers, the National Communication Network, NCN, it shows you who them boys is. It shows you who them boys be in this one Guyana, right? I don't know why they want to treat me uncle like that. Uncle Enrico, why they want to treat my uncle Enrico like that? Don't do it. You see, having some black coffee this morning, but when we got family like Uncle Enrico, tomorrow we drinking milk. And Debbie Collins says we resemble and all. It's true. Debbie says we resemble and all. So I don't know why they want to ill-treat my uncle Enrico. I don't know. Well, let's get the backstory here. Let's get the backstory quick as we wrap up. Because it shows you a different picture. The Chinese would say a different picture. So, personnel, human resource, and Enrico agreed that when the government was firing him, you see, like countless other Afro-Guyanese firing him from the public sector, he was owed $7,796,687. According to the report, it was agreed by Human Resource that Wilford was owed Uncle Enrico, sorry, I want to beat in, Uncle Enrico, $7,796,687. He was owed. They also agreed that he would be paid because things tight by NCN. You see? Tight. You see, they're in thing with the social media age, you know. Right? They're still catering for people who got a little knob on the TV for fine tune. That big back TV. That's the age then. They're in thing with the social media. So things tight over there. 7 million, they got this one. We can't pay you all one time, Uncle Enrico. We can pay you in monthly installments. 1.2 a month. Right? Until we finish paying you. That was agreed. But it's later on when the board meet. Of course, spikes start kicking in now. They wanted to pay Uncle Enrico a different sum. Right? A lesser sum than what was agreed. My uncle, my beloved uncle, beloved by this whole family, respected Uncle Enrico, took them to court. Abida Monroe, yes, Uncle Enrico took them to court. And I want to share with you some of what the court said. I want to share with you some of what the court said, right? And you can see them boys' face here. You can see them boys' face here. The report says here, the board recalculated the figures and decided to offer Uncle Wilford a substantially reduced sum. I sued the board. He sued them. After the court examined the evidence, right? The court found that the board of NCN in an attempt to sidestep its financial obligations to Uncle Enrico, invented a number of claims that were all rejected. I want to zero in on that word invented. The board lied, concocted, invented a number of claims according to the court. According to the court, you think that board was acting on their own? So true, Hector. The board invented. That's what the report says, quoting from court document. The board invented a number of claims that were all rejected by the courts. This is a state entity fabricating, inventing, concocting a number of claims. They go on from there. Hold on. Don't leave the live yet. The judge, the Honorable Joan Barlow, said that NCN, through its witnesses, presented what appears to border on the fanciful and strains the credulity of the court in its reception and analysis of evidence it put forward. Capture that. Fanciful evidence. They said it strained, basically, credibility. Right? You have to strain to believe it. Right? In the evidence it was putting forward to show why Uncle Enrico deserved a lesser amount. Fanciful. The court called its evidence straining credulity. A state entity, you know, under the supervision, guidance, leadership of the PPP, right? Fanciful and strains the credulity of the court in its reception and analysis of evidence. Invented a number of claims. NCN board. It says here, quoting from court documents, the court here registers its disappointment registers its disappointment at the fact that the witnesses, NCN, were unable to be forthright with the court. I was meaning to go on about earphone in Washington, but I won't be able to do that based on the time we have. The court here, and now, this is what the High Court, the court here and now registers its disappointment at the fact that the witnesses for NCN were unable to be forthright. They were lying. They were telling untruth, fanciful things, concocting, inventing. My God. Folks, but these boys are going to want to run out there and talk about good governance. You see? What? Run out there and talk about transparency and accountability. When they got people going to court lying, inventing fanciful evidence to spite Uncle Enrico, a man beloved of our family for years, respected Uncle Enrico. And so the court awarded him what is owed. What is owed to my uncle? $7.7 million. right? 7.7 7,796,687 dollars. The court awarded my uncle of truth, who's a fantastic journalist. The court awarded my uncle, in short, $7.7 million. You see, you can't hide truth for long. You can't stifle it. You can't lock it up. You can't bury it. And my uncle, Uncle Enrico, is a man of truth. 7.7 million. Folks, I got to end there because we have to rush off to some other engagements, allied engagements. But I meant to go off, and we can deal with it on our next broadcast. You see? On airplane in Washington, we meant to go off on that. Airplane in Washington. And all of these people he's scampering to meet, you see, trying to build a profile on the international stage while they got people doing your dirty work in the court system. How y'all can see Father Face? How y'all can see Father Face? He said, many shall say, Lord, Lord. And I will say to them on that great and terrible day of judgment, depart. I know y'all. You better confess your sins here, fun. You better confess your sins before them people you're trying to see there. You better confess your sins. You're just searching and begging, you know, your lobbyists for meetings with all kinds of officials. You better confess your sins. You got people going to the court telling lies, inventing, fabricating, fanciful things. You better confess your sins. Better confess your sins. And you know, as we're on this, we are learning, you know, a senior executive in this government, high official, married, in an entanglement with the minister, senior executive, right to the top, married. You see? Chattering all them vows on a nightly basis with a government minister. Senior, we can bust the one. Big family problems right now. Big family problems. Big family problem. My wife threatening to go public any day now. Senior functionary. With executive privileges. See, when our attorneys tell us when you are clear, to unpack that, to open them those files, we're going to do so. Senior people. My wife threatening right now. You see? Right now. We can talk about it later. But your fan is in Washington. And on another note, running around. I ain't enough time to deal with it. Folks, we have to leave it there this morning. Thanks for joining our broadcast. We have to leave it there because, as I said, we got to run off. Canvas one right now. That file. You see? That file. We can't break the one right now, folks. Okay, we got the clearance from our attorneys. Lining up with ducks. Big story. You're going there for one thing. Installed. All of it. You're distracted by all kinds of things. So hold on. Let me sit down past you. Folks, that's going to do it for us. They said, thanks for joining us, Rhonda, Yolanda, Open Parts, Diane, Brenda, so through Hector, Karen, and all the other folks. We got to make a hard finish. A hard finish. That's going to do it for us. As they said, folks, that's our time this morning. Until our next broadcast, Yvette and Kirk. And Yvette is a Wolfer too. It's family. Yvette is family. You know, congrats to Uncle Enrico. You know, looking forward to talking with you quite soon. Very soon. Looking forward to talking with you. Congrats, Uncle Enrico. That's going to do it for us this end. Grace Noel and Fidel and Don and Evelina. All the other folks joining us. That's me time this morning. Have a fantastic rest of the day and stay safe. Be vigilant. Watch for them boys. Stay safe. That's me time. And that's okay. Stay safe.